So I know I said I wasn't going to do a video on the Super Bowl because I don't like either teams in it, but it was inevitable. And I got some good things to say about both teams in terms of who's going to win. So I'm going to do a video today on Tampa, tomorrow on the Chiefs. And then the day after that, I'm going to talk about genuinely, with all that in mind, who I think is going to win, which I kind of talked about last video. So here are the 4 reasons I think Tampa Bay would be the winner of the Super Bowl. Starting off, just one that's one of the smaller ones is the better running back committee. The key to playoffs, late season football is a run game and a defense. Now, just touching on the run game right now, Ronald Jones was just shy of 1,000 yards this season in the regular season, and he's cooled off. He struggled. He only had 16 yards on 10 carries in the NFC Championship, but Fournette picked up his slack with 55 yards and a touchdown. So still, even though he didn't have production, they still rushed for 70 on the ground, and they won the game because they were able to control the clock. And with Brady's short passing game that he's known for, they really can control the clock really well, and those running backs complement that. I know Arians isn't that much of a runner. I know he's your Andy Reid. He wants to throw every single down basically, but still, if they pull a lead, they will have a way easier time facilitating the game and just managing it than the Chiefs would, because the Chiefs are these home run hitters, who 90-step drop back, throw the ball 8,000 yards downfield and hope we get a touchdown. So number 2, pretty basic, is Tom Brady. Now, as much as I hate the guy, I can't deny the fact that in the big game, when it matters, he plays pretty great. He just doesn't make a lot of mistakes usually. Now, again, last game he had 3 interceptions, obviously, but still, he's got a stacked receiver core. From Mike Evans to Chris Godwin to Rob Gronkowski, that's unbelievable. It's crazy. And Antonio Brown and Scotty Miller are both great receivers too. In my opinion, it's the best receiver core in the NFL, and maybe only second to the Chiefs. So you're adding a guy with experience, which in these big games, experience can mean more than freaking ball talent. Because I look at Brady, and again, he just throws some bad balls. It's not me being mean. Look at that last game. 2 of those picks were just him not making the throw. And even more probably could have been argued for being bad throws, and the receiver either made a play on them, etc. Like that Chris Godwin throw on poor Kevin King. I just think, when you have Brady in a Super Bowl, it's pretty. I like your chances. Not to mention, he only lost Super Bowls if he was pressured 50% of the time on dropbacks. Both Giants Super Bowls and the Eagles pressured him over 50%. That's the key to winning. You rattle Brady, he makes bad throws. He starts getting the ball out too quick because he gets nervous. That's just the way to beat him. And then you look at the last time the Chiefs played, because the Chiefs have an all right pass rush, but then you look the last time they played the Bucs, in which the Chiefs won by 3, 27-24. Brady was only sacked once, and it was split. You're not going to beat him in the playoffs like that. Maybe you'll beat him in the regular season like that, but he doesn't mess around in the Super Bowl. So Spagnuolo better have some blitzes dialed up, because they need to get after Brady. Coaching. Now, I'm not trying to say Arians is a better coach than Reid. I'm just saying he's in the same caliber of coach as Reid. Because I think the 2017 AFC Championship, where it was Mike Tomlin versus Doug Marrone, I'm sorry, Jaguars are losing that matchup coaching-wise every day of the week. Marrone was not a good coach, and Tomlin is in the regular season. So I'm looking at it like that, and I'm like, Arians is on a similar level as Reid. Maybe not the same, but similar. And what I really thought helped him a lot is Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles, again, you look at that Green Bay game, and you're like, oh, well, the defense didn't play good. Rodgers had 350. But the defense also had 3 interceptions, and they didn't get any points off those because his defense plays good. He does a great job at disguising his coverages. He'll fake man and then it drops into zones, or he'll fake zone and it drops into blitzes, or he just zone blitzes, obviously, because that's a thing. But again, zone blitzes have to hum to get there, and that'll be my next point. But I really like Todd Bowles, so I think he's a better defensive coordinator this year than Spagnuolo. Okay, Spagnuolo, I think, is a better overall, but I think this year Todd Bowles is the defensive coordinator I'd take. And those offensive coordinators do not matter, Byron Leftwich or Eric Bieniemy, because you have Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Do you even really need an offensive coordinator? So defense, specifically the D-line, Jason Pierre-Paul, Vita Vea, Shaquille Barrett, Ndamukong Suh. That is their starting D-line that they can have. And then Willie Golson comes in as a sub. He's a starter on some teams in the league, and he's a sub on them. I mean, come on, the talent they have at D-line is nuts. Like, they can rush forward and get pressure, and then you throw in a fast, young linebacker and Devin White on the blitzes. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Their defense, I think, is really what's going to win them, because Mahomes is going to have to throw a million times. And you look at the last time they played, and Mahomes threw for 450, and they only won by 3. And a lot of that was because Tyreek Hill had 266 and 200 in the first quarter, because for whatever reason, Bowles was outsmarting himself and he was playing single high on Tyreek Hill for a whole quarter. He's not going to make that mistake again. He shored him up in the second half. I mean, look at that. He had 266 in the game, 200 in the first quarter. So Mahomes was on pace for 800 yards. I know that's obviously impossible, but still. And then he only ended up with 450. Bowles is a smart coach. He will figure it out. And yeah, I'm just looking. I mean, one of the fastest noses in the league in Vita Vea. Pro Bowl caliber player and resurging player in Jason Pierre-Paul. Totally clean player, never have a dirty play in his career, Ndamukong Suh. And Shaquille Barrett, who's fast off the edge, winning almost 30% of his pass blocks, which is insane. They are just going to get after Mahomes in a way I don't think he's ready for, even if he was healthy, let alone being a little gimpy because of everything that's happening to him, due to his foot injury. I mean, their guard opted out too in the beginning of the season, which hasn't hurt them too much. But now Eric Fisher, their starting left tackle and first overall pick, is out. I don't know. I just think that D-line is going to get after Mahomes, and he is not as mobile as he usually is right now. So I really just think Todd Bowles and that D-line are going to be too much for the Chiefs to handle. And not to mention, Lavonte David and Devin White are unbelievably talented players. So yeah, those are my reasons why I think Tampa's going to win. Feel free to put in the comments what you think about them. I mean, again, those are just the 4 I think that are the most important. Tomorrow I'll do the video on the Chiefs, and then the day after that I will do my overall breakdown. But yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, like I said, if you have any suggestions for videos you want me to make or suggestions on the things I said. And yeah, I will see you next time.